Do you ever stop and ask yourself, am I really enjoying what I think I am? Think about it. Every time you mindlessly scroll through your phone, opening endless tabs that you know won't bring you any real value. Every time you eat even though you're not hungry, laugh at things that don't truly make you happy, or consume content without any real need. But here's the real question. Who's enjoying all this? Is it you? Or is it the system that's been slowly programming you to chase instant gratification, leaving you more empty each time? The truth is, you've been conditioned to seek pleasure, but never truly experience it. And guess what? You probably haven't even realized it. We live in a world where pleasure is always just a click away, but it never feels like enough. Sound familiar? Well, this isn't by accident. Aldous Huxley, nearly a century ago, predicted this exact scenario. He saw it coming. He warned us that control wouldn't come through force or oppression, but through something much more subtle: pleasure. Pleasure is the ultimate tool of control in today's world. And what's worse, it's disguised as freedom. But if we keep chasing this fleeting pleasure, will we ever truly be free? Keep watching, because this is about to change the way you think about your habits, your choices, and your life. Imagine a world where control doesn't come through force, but through distraction. A world where books aren't banned, they're ignored, because people have lost interest in reading. A world where the truth isn't hidden, but buried beneath mountains of irrelevant noise. A world where control isn't needed, because people are too addicted to their own self-imposed slavery. Sound familiar? Welcome to Huxley's world, the world we're living in. In this world, every desire is fulfilled in seconds, and satisfaction is supposed to be instant. Yet, the emptiness grows deeper with every swipe, every click. Pleasure is no longer a reward. It's a drug. And the worst part? We've been conditioned to think it's freedom. Pleasure has become a control mechanism, a way to keep us hooked, distracted, and controlled. Now, ask yourself, do you think you're free because you can choose what you consume? The truth is, who is really choosing when every option around you has been designed to trap you? Look at your surroundings. Everywhere you turn, stimuli are fighting for your attention. Notifications, flashing lights, sounds, pop-ups, a trap disguised as entertainment. You think you're in control, but in reality, you're caught in a web of immediate gratification. This is the new dictatorship. They don't punish you, they entertain you. They don't imprison you. They fill your life with endless distractions that paralyze you, leaving you numb and directionless. The truth is, most of us are lost in a cycle of fleeting pleasures while our real lives fall apart. And the worst part? It's addiction. But like any addiction, the problem isn't the pleasure, it's the need for the next dose. Food has stopped being food. It's dopamine, sugar, fat, instant energy, and empty calories. Social media isn't about connection anymore. It's about chasing artificial validation with every like, every comment, every scroll. We're not building relationships. We're seeking quick hits of approval from strangers who don't even know us. And it doesn't end there. The instant gratification trap is so effective that we don't even realize we're slaves to it. We think we're choosing, but what we're really doing is being led into a world where nothing matters, where everything is disposable, where we are conditioned to consume endlessly, unable to ever feel truly satisfied. But the truth is, the more we chase fleeting pleasure, the less we're able to connect with the real things that bring lasting fulfillment. The world may give us more options, but in the end, it's giving us fewer real choices, more distractions, fewer real connections, more consumption, less meaning, and the scariest part? We're slowly losing the ability to think. We're so caught up in the endless cycle of pleasure that we don't question anything anymore. We don't ask, what am I really getting from this? We just keep scrolling, eating, buying, seeking the next hit of dopamine, never realizing that, in the process, we're losing control over our own minds. What's even more terrifying is that we're not just losing our ability to think critically, we're losing the ability to truly live. Relationships deteriorate because it's easier to swipe than it is to put in effort. We avoid challenges because instant gratification is too easy. The harder road, the one that takes time, effort, and patience, isn't as appealing as the quick fix we've become addicted to. Here's the truth. The more conditioned we are to seek instant pleasure, the weaker we become. The easier we get pleasure, the harder it becomes to appreciate anything real, meaningful, or long-lasting. The more we indulge, the more numb we become to the things that truly matter. Pleasure isn't the enemy, it's how easily we get it, and how addicted we've become to it. That's the real problem. So, what do we do about it? The first step is to realize that we're in control. Pleasure isn't the problem, our relationship with it is. We've been trained to believe that everything should be fast, easy, and instantly rewarding. But the key to breaking free from this cycle is simple: self-control. The ability to say no. The ability to walk away from the distractions, the entertainment, and the instant gratification that's holding us back from real growth. Because here's the thing, the world wants you distracted, numb, and passive. But if you can break free, if you can start to delay gratification and face discomfort, that's where real freedom lies. You can become the person who says no to fleeting pleasures and yes to something far more valuable: purpose, connection, and meaning. The question is, are you ready to take back control? Or will you keep being a slave to pleasure, to distractions, to the endless cycle that never fulfills you? It's time to wake up, take control, and start living the life you were meant to live. Choose what really matters. The content you consume isn't real learning. It's mental anesthesia. We've been sold the lie that pleasure is the goal, but what if it's actually the poison? Aldous Huxley warned us long ago. The future wouldn't be ruled by oppression, but by distraction. He foresaw a world where we're so consumed with constant pleasure that we don't even notice we're being controlled. And that's the truth. Every dose of cheap instant gratification weakens our ability to experience true joy. Look around. Children can't focus on a book for more than a few minutes, but they can spend hours glued to 5-second videos. Adults can't sit in silence, yet they fill every moment with mindless noise. Relationships wither, because why put in the effort when instant gratification is just a click away? We're stuck in a cycle where effortless pleasure is destroying our capacity to fight for what really matters. Why? Because the things that bring the most joy, real joy, take time, effort, and sacrifice. But in a world where pleasure is handed to you on a silver platter, who wants to work for it? That's the problem. It's not the pleasure itself, it's how easy it is to get. Think about it. Why is love becoming disposable? Because there's an endless array of options at our fingertips. Why are fewer people chasing big dreams? Because immediate rewards are easier to find than ever before. And why do you never feel completely satisfied, even after getting what you want? Because fleeting pleasures never fill the deeper emptiness inside. It's like chasing a mirage that always stays out of reach. This is how pleasure becomes a weapon. It keeps you distracted while your life is slipping away. It keeps you addicted, never fully satisfied, always craving the next hit. And in the process, it traps you in a never-ending pursuit of something that can never fulfill you. Pleasure isn't the problem, it's the price we pay for it. So, here's the question. Are you willing to keep paying that price? The real trap isn't the addiction to pleasure itself, it's the illusion that we need it. They've convinced us that happiness equals enjoyment, but nobody taught us how to endure boredom, how to embrace discomfort, or how to wait for something meaningful. We're taught that everything must be fun, fast, and easy, but real life, the one that truly matters, is a journey filled with struggle, discomfort, and delayed gratification. The truth is, we've been conditioned to avoid the hard, to shy away from the uncomfortable, and to believe that our worth is determined by how much pleasure we can get right now. But that's a lie, because real happiness isn't instant. It's not a quick dopamine hit. It's the satisfaction of putting in the hard work, of enduring the discomfort, of fighting through the struggle, and of reaping the rewards that truly matter. And if you don't learn to embrace that, to endure the hard stuff, you'll be forever trapped in the cycle of shallow distractions. So, next time you feel the urge to seek instant pleasure, pause, reflect. Ask yourself, is this what I really need right now? Because you're not just chasing pleasure, you're chasing a fleeting high that only leaves you emptier. It's time to stop being a slave to the system and take back control. Learn to delay gratification, to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth, and to understand that true joy comes from working for what matters most. If you can do that, you'll find something that pleasure can never give you: real fulfillment. Don't be fooled by the distractions. The real reward is waiting for you, but it won't come until you're willing to fight for it. No one prepared us for the void. No one explained that real life, the one that's worth living, is not a succession of exciting moments, but a series of struggles. They sold us the idea that everything must be stimulating, easy, pleasurable. And now, every time we face something difficult, we feel like something is wrong. If studying isn't fun, we quit. If a relationship has problems, we discard it. If a project requires effort without immediate reward, we leave it for later. Because the modern world has conditioned you to be impatient, to think that discomfort is a mistake, to flee from the void instead of understanding it. And what's the result? A society of people unable to tolerate the slightest frustration. People who need constant stimuli to avoid facing their own thoughts. People who fill every silence with noise. People who confuse comfort with happiness and end up more miserable than ever. Because here's the big paradox. The easier it is to obtain pleasure, the harder it is to be happy. The brain is not designed to live in a constant state of reward. When everything is pleasure, nothing is special. When everything is immediate, nothing has value. When everything is easy, life loses its meaning. And yet, here we are, increasing the dose, seeking the next dopamine hit, the next video, the next message, the next stimulus that will make us forget for a second that we're empty inside. But here comes the worst part. Not only are they stealing your happiness, they're stealing your ability to think. Because a mind addicted to pleasure is a mind incapable of questioning, and that, in terms of social control, is the master move. They keep us entertained so we don't realize what they're taking from us. Do you remember when you could spend hours concentrating on something without feeling the need to check your phone? Do you remember when you could get bored without panicking? Do you remember when your attention wasn't fragmented into 1,000 pieces? All of that has been programmed to disappear. Every app, every social network, every entertainment platform has been designed to hack your brain, to make you unable to focus, to train you to respond to impulses rather than thoughts, to turn you into a passive consumer instead of a conscious creator. Because a person who can't concentrate can't learn. A person who can't endure boredom can't reflect. A person who can't think clearly can't question. And that's the ultimate goal. You don't need an authoritarian government when you have an entertained population. You don't need censorship when people no longer have an interest in questioning anything. You don't need chains when people lock themselves in cages made of cheap pleasure. Aldous Huxley said it clearly. The love of servitude will be our destiny, but it won't be an imposed servitude. It will be a chosen servitude, a servitude disguised as freedom. Want to know how they do it? Through saturation. They've taught us that freedom is being able to choose, but when they give you infinite options, they're actually taking away your power. You choose between 1,000 series, but none of them fulfill you. You choose between 1,000 songs, but you can't enjoy any of them completely. You choose between 1,000 people with a flaw, but each relationship is more superficial than the last. You think you have more options, but in reality, you only have more distractions. And when everything is superficial, when everything is fast, when everything is replaceable, nothing really matters. That's the trap. The society of pleasure doesn't make you freer, it makes you weaker. Because the more conditioned you are to seek immediate pleasure, the less capacity you have to resist discomfort. And discomfort is the foundation of growth. There's no success without effort. There's no love without sacrifice. There's no purpose without pain. But the modern world doesn't want you to grow. It wants you to consume, because a person who faces difficulty strengthens. A person who resists discomfort becomes independent. A person who can delay gratification becomes dangerous because they no longer need the cheap pleasures the system offers them. And here's the final question. Are you still the owner of your mind, or have you become a slave to pleasure? The first step to reclaiming your freedom isn't to put down your phone. It's not to uninstall an app. It's not to avoid temptations. It's to understand that pleasure is not the problem. It's the relationship you have with it. If you can control your desire for immediate pleasure, you can control your life. If you can resist instant gratification, you can build something real. If you can endure boredom, you can start to think for real. Because pleasure is not the enemy. The enemy is the weakness it creates when you don't know how to use it. So the next time you feel the need to look for another distraction, ask yourself this: who's in control here? If you can control your desire for immediate pleasure, you can control your life. If you can resist instant gratification, you can build something real. If you can endure boredom, you can start to think for real. Because pleasure is not the enemy. The enemy is the weakness it creates when you don't know how to use it. So the next time you feel the need to look for another distraction, ask yourself this: Who's in control here? Because if it's not you, then someone else is. And that, my friend, is the greatest form of slavery. Now that you know this, the question is not if you'll keep falling into the trap. The question is, what are you going to do with this information? Because here comes the scariest part. The pleasure that controls you today won't disappear just because you understand it. Your brain has already been conditioned. Your patience has already been destroyed. Your attention has already been fragmented. And if you don't do something about it, you'll follow the same path as the rest. Because that's the system's master move. It makes you believe that understanding the problem is the same as solving it. It's not. Knowledge without action is just another distraction. So tell me, are you going to close this video and go on with your life as if nothing happened, or are you going to take control? I'm not telling you to become a monk. I'm not telling you to live without pleasure. What I'm telling you is to develop the most valuable muscle that exists: self-control, the ability to decide when to stop, when to say no, when to get out of the cycle before it's too late. Because if you don't learn to master pleasure, pleasure will master you. And I'm going to tell you something no one tells you. The people who really succeed in life, the ones who build something bigger than themselves, the ones who leave a mark, the ones who live with purpose, they're not the most talented, they're not the smartest, they're not the luckiest. They are the ones who learn to delay immediate pleasure, to resist the temptation of the easy, to endure the discomfort of doing the hard. And those people aren't born that way. They build themselves every day, deciding what others aren't willing to decide, saying no to what others can't reject, mastering the art of doing what needs to be done and not what gives them pleasure in the moment. So here's the challenge. The next time you feel the need to seek immediate pleasure, stop just for a second. Feel the impulse, observe it, recognize it for what it is. A chain they've placed on your mind, and then decide. Decide if you really want to give in or if you want to reclaim your power. Because in every insignificant decision, in every moment where you delay the easy to do the important, you're training your brain to be the master of itself. And if you start today, if you do this over and over again, if you break the pattern, one day you'll wake up and realize something. You're not like the rest. You don't need constant validation. You don't need instant gratification. You don't need chains disguised as pleasure because you belong to yourself. And when that happens, when you regain control, the system no longer has power over you. Pleasure stops being a drug and becomes what it was always meant to be, a reward, not a prison. So, tell me, will you keep being a slave to pleasure, or will you do what few dare to do? Leave it in the comments. Write, "I take control," because if you can write it, if you can commit publicly, then you've already taken the first step. And if this video made you question yourself, if it woke something inside you, subscribe. Because here, I won't give you easy pleasure. I'll give you reality. And reality, even if it hurts, is the only way to be truly free.